Welcome back to the news itself. Each week we dive into the wonderful and enriched world of the internet to see what people are posting about. I'm Mackenzie Beebe. There's a lot going on in the news this week, but we wanted to talk about the protests in Chicago. Take a look.
And Tom, tomorrow all eyes will be right here on Chicago's Magnificent Mile. Protesters who say they want their demonstrations to have an economic impact plan to protest as Black Friday shoppers descend on the countless stores here.
What happened was a man by the name of Laquan McDonald was shot and killed by a cop named Jason Van Dyke. There is still a lot going on and a lot we don't know for sure, but for months this video has been in the dark. After a judge ordered the release of the footage, the city braced for retaliation.
We're going to start with breaking news. Overnight outrage in Chicago. Hundreds of protesters demanding justice over a racially charged police shooting. The demonstrators spilled onto the streets after the city released graphic dash cam video showing a white officer, Jason Van Dyke, opening fire on Laquan McDonald as he walked away, hitting him 16 times.
Following the release of the video, the officer was arrested and charged with murder. Now, the upsetting thing is the fact that the police report was completely different than what is clearly seen in the video. So the reasoning behind these protests and why people are upset is properly justified. But the news, on the other hand, has had a different outlook on some of these non-violent protests that went on.
Well, listen, you're going to have guys like this, you know, they want to instigate, they want to create a...
What is he instigating, Bernie? I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt.
Richard, look at him.
What is
out there accused of doing nothing wrong, trying to keep the peace.
This guy is having a silent protest with his police officer.
He gets right in his face and stares him down. This cop hasn't done anything wrong.
That is his First Amendment right, Megan. And you, out of all people, Megan, believe it protecting. This is his First Amendment right. I don't understand.
You think that's fine? You have no problem with this?
This is his First Amendment right. The biggest problem here
is what his constitutional rights are. It's a question of what's appropriate.
Appropriate? It's a protest. A simple, non-violent protest. The cop also really looks like he could care less as well. He's just doing his job. And the protests have relatively stayed calm and peaceful. However, some things went too far.
We don't get it!
In Chicago, Wednesday night, more protests. At one point, tearing lights off the city's Christmas tree.
This is where I disagree with the protests. You see, when things like this happens, where protesters might have gone too far or have done something unrelated to the protest, is when the news and the public direct their attention to the possible violence of these large crowds. You lose the objective behind the cause. It's now turned into just what was vandalized and how many arrests were made that night. Inflicting fear throughout the city makes the protest seem like a negative thing to do. But protesting is also what makes this country so great. It's a right that we should cherish, not abuse. This week's episode was a little shorter than normal simply because it's been busy this Thanksgiving weekend. Expect a normal show next Monday. So, what do you think about these protests and have they gone too far? Leave your opinion down below. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you take that mouse, drag it over to the subscribe button, and just destroy it. I mean, destroy it. Thanks for watching. I'm Mackenzie Beebe. We will see you next week on the news itself.